Olá a todos, bem-vindos ao nosso canal. Hoje vou ter um convidado, o Jamie, só que vamos falar em inglês, porque ele é inglês. Jamie, I was telling people, now we're going to speak in English and say welcome to them in Portuguese. So Jamie, let's talk about you. First question I always do to my friends is, when you were a kid, do you recall what you want to be as a grown-up? What job you wanted to do?
Yes, I wanted to be a teacher when I was younger. So I had teachers in the family. I loved learning. I was a bit of a teacher's pet. So a little bit of a term in English is a swot. So I was a bit of a goody two shoes, like pleasing teachers, and I wanted to be them. So they inspired me to go into education. From there, I then got inspired by someone else, which is my cousin, and I wanted to go into theatre and acting. And I did musical theatre for 10 years, and I did performing, and I was doing shows, went to university and studied theatre. At that time, I then worked with a local theatre doing children's theatre and theatre in education. So going back round full circle. And then I started doing workshops and educational things, but in a fun, hands-on environment. And that then kind of led to where I am today. So yeah, when I was younger, it was teaching. And I slowly got back there.
Oh, now second questions. What you do today?
I'm an online teacher, and also, like yourself, I'm a Lego Education Certified Academy Teacher Trainer. So I love our title. It's the longest thing to put on your resume ever. But essentially, so I do online teaching with home educated families, with students that are learning from home because of the pandemic. So I work with various companies as a freelance educator. But my day-to-day stuff is my Lego work. So Instagram, TikTok, a little bit of YouTube, podcast like yourself, meeting educators, talking to people that do learning through play. And so now I'm in Bulgaria. I am British, so I'm from England originally, but living in Bulgaria, working in Bulgarian schools, and doing the robotics side. So you saw this guy in my little TikToks, my little Spike Prime robot, building him, showcasing different builds, Lego facts, history, and making a little bit of money through TikTok, which is quite nice. So
very interesting. Tell me something. I find out about something about you. What type of job you did before came to Bulgaria?
So before Bulgaria, I worked in Legoland in Windsor. That's where the Lego career started. So after I graduated university, in 2014, I started looking for jobs, various teaching roles, and nothing quite tickled my fancy. So then the education job came up at Legoland. And it's all about learning through play, doing hands-on workshops with schools that are visiting the Legoland theme park. And at the time, I did not know anything about Lego. I didn't know about robotics. I didn't know what Lego education was. I'd never been to Legoland. The first time I went to Legoland was when I started working there. So that was interesting. So I was running school workshops and doing the educational stuff. And that's where the Lego education role came into play. So I got put forward for the academy in my second year working at Legoland, and I've been doing it ever since. So worked there, various roles, but all learning, all educational. First Lego League I ran, like yourself, in Windsor, which was great fun, a huge challenge, but very, very, it was really worth it, and to inspire so many students. I can see why you do it as well.
Yes, a lot of work, but it's interesting to see the results. Like I have already, my first YouTube video, like podcast on YouTube, was with my former student. I'm Guilherme. I know him since he's 10 years old, and so he did always with me first Lego League. And now he's an engineer, a father of a baby. He's like, so it's interesting to see how impact can be the adults when they try be with kids and they try to show what they do and share their experience, how much impact that can have in the kids. So it's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. It's one of the big things we always said at Legoland is, when you're running workshops, inspire the students to want to be like you don't pretend to be a teacher and talk down to them. So it's like they won't know anything, like they don't know the robotics, but engage them and excite them to want to learn and want to be in your position where you're just as excitable and enjoying what you're doing. And that was for me why I do what I do today. It's chatting with thousands of Lego fans about education and learning with Lego. It's hard work and there's a lot of time that you need to put into it, but it's worth it when you just get one person say, you've inspired me to try something new and try, using robotics as an example, like to go buy a robot just because I saw you doing it. And yeah, it's lots of work, but well worth it.
Yeah, because sometimes, like I say, and you too, normally, I'm sure you say it too, as like I say, normally robotics or all these type of materials, forgive me, we use is like a tool for they can gain skills, like critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, teamwork, so many skills you can gain. Because like I had students, even ones who did FLL, they don't follow engineer, they go to business management, they go to a teacher or whatever, all these type of professions, but the goal was how they use they experience and how they apply that experience in normal day-to-day of their lives, so they continue inspired. Many came back as a volunteers, so it's interesting how to see this cycle,
Absolutely.
especially when you do for so long, like 17 years, you can see the results. So it's very interesting. And so it's interesting to see many teachers, even they don't know anything about robotics or coding, like English teachers or Portuguese teachers, but they try to understand the concept or support the teachers who knows for be able to give these opportunities to the kids. So it's interesting to see the parents too. Like, was a team here in Portugal, I don't know how like your experience in UK was, but here a team was in Portugal was like 7 kids, all girls, and I think was then the double of the parents. So it was like more parents and the kids. And it's like, wow, that is the team. Is like you have a coach, you have like 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 they're famous. They have all these people work for them.
Yeah, it's exactly the same here. So I was really lucky to go to the final. I can't remember what year it was, but it was in Bristol on the west coast of the UK. And the parents seem to enjoy it more than the kids. I think because they're channeling their inner child through their kids to build Lego, and they get dressed up and they wear like makeup and face paint. And it's great. So to see that bonding, and you mentioned that like the skills that they learn. If they don't go into a Lego profession or engineering robotics, it doesn't mean that the course hasn't worked, because what they've learned is teamwork, communication, self-reflection, all those are what we call in the academy those 21st century skills which Lego teaches. And we're not saying that Lego is the answer to everyone's problems. It's just a tool that helps students engage with something and boost their confidence and allows them to ask questions and understand what the world's in store for them. So it's, when they're in school, they're in this little bubble of learning. Whereas the Lego League introduces them to other schools and other students and how to engage with them. And if they lose, how do they deal with it? If they win, how do they deal with that? Not to be a sore loser or a real boastful winner. So yeah, I completely agree with that. It's that team building and just getting to understand you as a person, which Lego really helps kind of develop those like the ideas and the knowledge in your head. So yeah, it's nice.
I'm like, the activity of the duck activity. So once, do you know like is this event called Web Summit?
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've not seen it.
yeah. So the first time they organize here in Portugal, I go, and it was like 50,000 people. I was like, oh my god, so overwhelming. Although I like to talk a lot. Like can be overwhelming some situations. So I was like, how I will talk with the persons I want to speak about first Lego League, but without to be rude, like like don't take away the time from other people. You have to be how to deal with that. So second day, what I think, I bring Lego, the ducks pieces, few, and then I came to the event, and then I approach people, different people from the ones I want to talk about it, and say if I could do this activity. You should see how people like they remember stuff when they are kids,
Mhm.
good memories.
Yeah.
So it was interesting how to do this activity, and then was like an icebreaker in this situation, and it's good
Mhm.
to show as we do to in the courses in the Lego Education Academy. It's good to see how like very simple 6 pieces we can create. Can show how any kind of material from in this case Lego education can use in the classrooms, and I was
Mhm.
like one challenge one time with same resource, different ideas. So with 6 pieces we use pieces we use like 24 skills. Imagine
Mhm.
then if you use a spike.
Yeah.
First Lego league, it's like then you go over it, so but it's interesting because to the Lego foundations, the studies they do
Mhm.
is interesting that like even if you don't have some places they don't have Lego, but
Mhm.
you can, like if you use paper or whatever, you can use the same skills, the same concept of learning, with that. So
Yeah.
I even the person don't have in schools that material, learning have these Lego Education Academy courses will help them a lot to energize themselves,
Wow.
to renovate the way they teach to like attract the kids. You say the Lego was the first time. You never had Lego when you were a kid?
No, I had Meccano and I had the metal stuff and Kinects. So it was I was really into machines and mechanisms, so making things move. So I had a big fairground, Ferris wheel and a roller coaster. My brother had Lego, but it
Okay.
never really interested me. So we had it in the house, but I didn't use it. I preferred the moving stuff. So my first ever Lego set was the Lego Creator camper van. And that was given to me as a present from Legoland to say, welcome to the team, have a great year. Here's a Lego set, have fun. And it's like, oh, okay, thanks. And I didn't really, I was like, I built it and I built it with my wife. So me and my wife actually worked in the same team because we were
Oh,
both looking for work. So we built it together. So again, it was that joint focus, building a set together, having a little bit of family time. And I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then I found out I could get 40% discount on the Lego shop. So it turned into this horrible cycle of I got paid by Lego and then I'd given my money back to Lego. And I was like, oh, okay, this is my life now. And I mean, I don't have any Lego with me apart from the robotics that I've got. It's all in the UK in
mhm.
my dad's shed because the plan was to go traveling and then go back to the UK. But then the lovely pandemic happened. So it's still in a big box in my dad's shed waiting to be built. And I've got Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Creator, more robotics. And it's all just sat there waiting to be built. We took it all apart when we moved.
Yes.
And so I'm going to have a lot of content for my social medias of just building all my Lego again, which I'm looking forward to, but also going to feel slightly ashamed of the what's happened to Wally. So yeah, I might feel a little bit ashamed of how much I actually have. So we'll see. So yeah, what happened to your Wally head? Is that the original one where the head was a little bit floppy?
No, this is this my husband one did the Lego Education Academy. When they go to Denmark, you go to the store of the employees when you
Yeah,
have discount.
that's
So he
where my
bought
one
this for
came from.
me. I built it, and then I was thinking how I can put then we do came in
Uh-huh.
2006. Look, how I can put the you do inside of here to control it. I did it, but then I want to put back original, and I think my son lost one of the pieces
Got
here, so I have to look
it.
for it because it's very cool.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see if I can build it. I have some pieces. No,
Uh,
no, don't be ashamed to have many Lego. I have a lot. Well, I will give you, tell you a secret. Oh, everyone will know now. Had to rent a garage to put my Lego there.
yeah, I don't have that much. Mine fits in a cabinet, and then well, the problem was because I had my office at Legoland and I had my own space to put all my Lego. We then had all the Lego that me and my wife owned together. So when it came to leaving Legoland and finishing my job, I was suddenly overwhelmed. I was like, oh, we have a lot of Lego. So we we had more boxes of Lego than we did kitchen equipment. And I was like, okay, this is life now. So yeah, you mentioned putting the motor inside Wally. I did the same with my Hogwarts Express. So I took the WeDo motor, geared up the train, and then I had it firing around my Christmas tree a few years ago using the smart hog. I was like, that worked. That's cool.
Yeah, because that is so tiny, and that you really can you can put inside of the Wally and the wheels. Because I see someone on YouTube did it with the motors from the Power Functions motors.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
And I was like, okay, the Power Function motors is the same size as the WeDo motors. So if you can do it, you can do it other. So I was testing. I think one day I will do it again, but I want to find the pieces I miss in the head. I wanted to fit it. One maybe it can be a test for us. We do it together, right? To find this. No, I have excuse too why I have a lot of Lego, because the first Lego week for example, this is for this year, the theme, but this is for the kids, tiny kids, like the 4 to 6. So I have Lego for my kids when they don't the season stop. When the season stop, then I have, if I have materials, I stay with the materials. Then I have for the Explorer ones, the 6 to 10 years old. So imagine I have that. And then I have for the oldest ones, 9 to 16, that is the huge box, because you have to see, for example, this one, I think is like around 700 something pieces. And the other one is around like 2,000 something pieces. The big one. So imagine these plus 17 years.
Plus the spike, plus the box and all the extra.
So you met your wife in the Legoland, or you already were married?
We were already married. No, I lied to you. So we were already together. We met at university. We both went to the same campus. And then we got married whilst working together at Legoland. So we had a little bit of Lego at the wedding, our Lego toppers we built with Lego bricks. I had Star Wars Lego cufflinks. We got married on May the 4th, which was Star Wars Day. So it's like, we need to have a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of Lego, but nothing too cheesy. There was just little nods here and there. But yeah, we lived and worked together literally 24/7 for a whole year. And it was great. We were fine, because I think we were doing our own workshops at the time. It felt like, yes, you were working together, but you're not breathing down each other's necks all the time. So yeah, that was a really fun year. And then she actually became a model maker for Legoland. So she then was paid to build the models professionally, because she's a designer by trade as well. She was never into education. It wasn't her thing. It was my thing. But it was like, they're looking for 2 people. Let's do it together. And then, she then worked for, Merlin, who owned Legoland. She worked for their model team and built a lot of the houses that you'll see in the Discovery Centres around the world, which was really cool.
Cool. I only know the Legoland from Bilan. It's only the one I know. That I did see the difference when they, like, each year they do something different. I traveled the last time I was pregnant with my twins, so it was interesting. I used the bicycle, and then you can see that the Bilan town in 2 hours in my bicycle.
Very small.
Yeah, and it's flat. It's good, because in Portugal, where I am from, is like hills. It's not flat at all. So when the first time I got to Denmark, I don't know. You have that idea, like North countries is high hills, because of North Portugal is huge mountains. So I thought Denmark is north of us. No, it's all flat. I was like, okay, cool. This definitely can use bicycle here. So it's cool. But I think first was Bilan, and then was the German Legoland, or was the Windsor that came after?
So Windsor was second. So Windsor was the first one outside of Bilan. So that was in '96. Okay. And then it was Germany and maybe America first, and maybe Germany, because there was actually there was 2 German Legolands. So there's the one that's still there now, and there was one before that which only lasted 4 years, and that then became Hansa Park. And not a lot of people know about that one, but it was all Legoland branded, but then they took it over and then moved all the Lego to the new location. and that is now still a theme park, just it's called Hansa Park instead. And then then they went crazy. I went to America, and now there's Dubai. China's coming up as well, so it's mental. But no, Billund was the first, and then Windsor was the second.
You will go back to UK? You will stay in Bulgaria? You're going
Not
to...
sure yet. Our plan is still to go travelling. So
Okay.
we are fully vaccinated. We're good to go. We're just waiting for the government to say, yeah, you can travel. So that's
Yeah.
what we're waiting for. So before we go, we will come back to the UK, see all my family, because I'm not seeing them for over a year.
Yeah.
So we will go back, say hi, get some bits and bobs, build some Lego maybe, do some stuff with that, and then go. But the plans completely changed. Like we were supposed to do India before, and all those countries on like Sri Lanka, and their cases are just through the roof. So we've decided we'll do Thailand, that sort of area. And then,
I have to give you the contacts I have. I have to ask them. Give you the contacts I have from there for the places. It's good because this way, people like it's good to go to places and have people, like because I don't know, when you go to a country, normally they tendency to go to the tourism area, but if you go to locals, you can go to places that normally tourists don't go, and you really can see the reality of the
yes.
country, I think, so it's good. What is your favorite part in the Lego Education Academy? The sets, the concept? Um, Feel free. This is...
Yeah, so I love the Lego. I love the sets, but my favorite is the concept of learning through play because you can apply it to anything. You don't need to just play with Lego. It could be toys. It could be playing in the garden. It can be playing out in nature, in a theme park, anywhere. Because for me, play as a definition means it needs to be enjoyable. It doesn't mean playing with a toy or physically making something. If you're enjoying the experience, you are playing. So for me, it's that theory of I can learn and have fun at the same time. And so you can go to a museum and learn. You can, as I said, you can go into your garden and do some gardening. It's there. You're playing, you're learning, and it's educational. Regardless of what people say, play and education goes together. I know, like in the academy, we in the Spike Prime presentation, it very much says the dictionary definition of play is it has to have, or learning has to have a serious purpose, and play doesn't. And it's like, well, that's stupid because play can be serious and you can learn through play. So I'd say for me, that is my favorite thing. And that's what I inspire on my channels the most, which is why on my podcast, I don't just talk to Lego builders. I talk to people that work in museums and actors and recreationists and anyone that's kind of doing something enjoyable and educational is learning through play. So yeah, that's my favorite from the whole thing. How about
No,
yourself? What's your favorite sort of area?
yeah, I like Lego. Um, Although I have many Lego because of work. I don't think I would buy it just if it was not that. Oops, fans. No, I do still have my old kits. When my first time I have Lego was, I think was I 6 years old. I have there in the, although my kid, but still they're saving. Bite, in case in podcast you have to listen. My kid bite my Lego, my poor Lego.
What on earth was that noise?
Yes, because I have to describe what was mean that noise. So but yes, I do like the concept. I think all the tools we use, independent what type of material we use, is just a tool for help the kids to gain the skills they need, the creativity. Because I think creativity, although people think it like is the same play, you cannot learn without play. That is the reality, even though people sometimes try to separate. Because when you see kids, is the kids become learn about socializing with other kids is by playing. If I'm
Yeah,
playing football with other kids, and if I want to play football, I need to work as a team.
absolutely. Yeah.
And when if you don't play as a team, what the other kids will tell you? Exactly. Like stop being individualist because this is a play of a team. So it's interesting. Inconsciently, the kids by playing, they are gaining when skills, learning how to socialize, how to communicate with others. So I don't think like you say, and like Lego, the academy shows is play is important and is you cannot separate. And even as an adult, who is the adult who like I always say adults is like kids, but in the point bigger grow up like because I think we always, and it's important we still have that kid inside of us, you know,
Mhm.
that because we associate kids with curiosity, with that happy to learn everything what's happened, and it's important for us as adults too, because many of our jobs we need creativity, but sometimes is in a way when we grow up our path of to become an adult is like we lose that creativity. So when we have this learning of systems like we use hands-ons or like these systems we have to play to
Mhm.
learn enjoy is very important. It's good to come back because help us even create a solution for problems, because I notice many people sometimes separate creativity from engineer or math, but for many other problems, you need to have creativity to resolve. It's like a circle. You cannot untouch them, you know. So yeah, so I like that. I like to see the smile of the kids and the adults
Mhm.
too, like, oh my god, I did this.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
cool, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, where because I create for kids, I do it in schools, like robotics clubs, and and sometimes I'm in museums too, and I create this a simple one with the Mindstorms NXT. No,
Mhm.
you at all. And so
There's the
I
classic
did a simple,
NXT. Yeah.
yeah, a simple one that you can, because of the timing. Sometimes you cannot coding on in the computer.
Mhm.
So this is very good actually to coding inside. Very simple. And so they can build a robot coding this activity I do, and they like also happy to do it. Or
Always that.
sometimes yeah, sometimes because I don't know in the UK, but in Portugal I think we learned the pi, sorry, I was saying Portuguese, the pi. I think they learn in sixth grade, fifth grade,
Mhm.
sixth grade, I don't recall, in math. So normally I do this in the kids because you can it exists a part you cannot put oh, you don't have centimeters, or you have degrees, rotations, or seconds, so you have to convert. So how will we do it? So I did a simple way for they learn, but so it's like, oh, and so then I say, now you know why you have to pay attention to math. So they were like, oh,
Like with this set, for those that are watching it on YouTube, like I mean, I'll power him on and show it, but like working with distance and rotations and angles, that's maths, but or you're also then obviously building at the same time. So for those that are watching on the video, apologies that if you're listening to the podcast,
yes.
but then you've got that really cool movement there. But then
Mm.
the angles that you're building at, the actual technique, like the system and the stem and just power motions and functions, and it's fascinating for me still, which is why I do it on social media, because like I've never built this before TikTok. I
I
found it
didn't
on.
do that. No, that was you. Is your own instructions, or is there in the?
No, this is from a guide online. So there's so many Spike Prime or like, and we do builders on YouTube. So what I aim to do with it is, kind of moving away from the master point, is build models that other people can create. So rather than just showing what I could design, use the live builds on TikTok and on Instagram to inspire people to get these sets out of the classroom, get them out learning with them, and show, yes, you can make this. It's not me as a designer or engineer just
Yes,
showing off what I can do. It's these resources are out there. Use them. They're free. They're everywhere. And
yes.
it's the same with like the podcast. It's like just to inspire people and getting them thinking about maths, engineering, science in a different way is exactly the reason why I do it. And it's also, I'm just nosy. I want to see what people are doing and what they're getting up to with their Lego. And that's kind of why I started my whole social media stuff in the first place. So that launched in July, and it was like, I'm bored. I want to talk to people. So I started the whole social media because I was bored during the lockdown. I didn't have anything to do. Joe Wicks was a savior. We did exercise every single day. But when that finished, I was like, well, what do I do now? So I was like, well, let's get on Instagram, let's get on YouTube, and not TikTok. TikTok's really new to me still, but just to kind of see what are people doing with Lego, how are they engage in Lego education, and yeah, just to be nosy and see, yeah, what are people up to during the lockdown? Are they as bored as me? And it turns out, yes, they are as bored as me.
I'm like with you. Like I have the social Facebook, the Instagram,
Mhm.
now the TikTok. I have the Twitch too, because of the pandemic. So I was like, okay. I was like you. I was like, how I can like show the things and like put together a community, like people I met before, or
Mhm.
people, new people, for learn each other, share with each other tips and tricks, what we do in our classrooms or even at home, like parents homeschooling, how we can even kids now become adults, how they can show to other kids how was they adventures, in their life, the kids to become adults, using this type of systems of learning. So I started to do it. So I created, then I was thinking what name I will should give. I like your name, the Bricket Educator. I like it.
That's changed as well. So it used to be the
Yeah.
Lego Educator. So for about a month or two, it was the Lego Educator. And then I
Mm,
started to think, well, if I'm going to build this as a brand, I can't use the word Lego because obviously
yep.
it's copyrighted. So I was like, what's the word that's similar to Lego that still represents it? And I was thinking, oh, do I go for like the toy educator, the learning through play educator? And I thought, no, that's rubbish. And I was like, Lego brick educator, done, tick.
Done.
And then it's different bits instead.
You, I didn't have that luck. I'm so good find names and ideas to my friends and they
Mhm.
projects. I don't know why, but for me, I was like, okay, I will put my name and Raquel Silva. It's like because that was keep me doing something, So okay, just put my name. I will find some solution later. And today, when I was like, fixing my site to see where I'm going to put the information that are going to have you on my podcast.
Mhm.
My site, I have a space that I put there the links and the old videos and old podcasts for people can be easy access, or activities. For example, what my student create activity for the kids do at home with
Mhm.
like with paper and wire, like without Lego, just an activity for their test at home. So I put there for people can download it and do it at home or at school, whatever what they want to do.
Mhm.
So if you want that, you want to do activity, you can do a send it. I put there. Will be a pleasure. So I was like, but that don't work like a nonsense. And then I was learning about it, and I was like, oh, a blog, okay. So I was writing, and then I don't know. You inspired me to. Then the name came. The name I had it before, like few days, but then the logo never sing. That's cute. So it's like tips and tricks, but when the ed meets tech, like when education meets
Yeah.
technology. But is the doll, I did the doll, it was very cool. So I was like, I started to, the idea is starting to came because when we see other people and they, what you do, like, and for example, I have other friend, he was a Lego designer.
Mhm.
He have a YouTube channel and he have an Instagram channel and TikTok. Tiago Catarino. I like very much what he does
Wow.
because he does like you like to show what other people create, what is
Yeah.
amazing to see
Mhm.
how possibilities they can. He create very simple constructions
Yeah.
that you like you even if you don't have a lot of leg at home, you can do
Mhm.
it, because when we go to these expositions, I don't know if you notice, or even Windsor, that amazing work, but it's only possible when you have a lot of pieces,
Yeah.
and it's
Exactly.
amazing to see. But then what I notice is kids want to build it,
Mhm.
yes, see, ooh, try
Yeah.
to touch it, no.
Yes, I
You
think.
cannot touch it, but build it. So he do it very interesting, very simple ones that you can make at home. So it's so
Mhm.
cool. And then met him first. I met him actually in Denmark in the restaurant for the employees. I met him there, like
Yeah.
other Portuguese. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I see three Portuguese there. Oh, another Portuguese. Oh, that's so cool. So then he create a YouTube channel. So it's very cool. And then it's so interesting because what he do and him and others do, like it really inspire me, inspire I'm sure inspire other people to do too other things. You know, like not to be like afraid or like should people will like this, you know, like just do it.
Put
If
it
people
out there.
if they don't like it, nobody, we cannot please everyone. So
I had a guy on my TikTok this morning came in and goes, I don't like what you're building. I don't like robotics. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm not trying to convert you to robotics. I'm just showing you what you can do with it. And it's like, I use two sets on my TikTok. So you've got them in the background. I obviously use the WeDo and then Spike Prime. They're the only two things I use. I'm going to hide behind my Lego now. So obviously, Anton
cool.
Dumet, which is my little ant robot. And then I can't remember if you jumped in this morning's live. But then I built a little spider build as well this morning. So he's just a really funky little, apologies guys if you listen to on the podcast, but those on YouTube, you can kind of see his little movement. So a really fun little gear system, but it uses one set. And people just love the fact you can create so many different models from the one form. And as you said, I'm not building it to show off what Lego I have, because there's so many TikTok channels out there. They're great and I follow them and I love what they do, but it's all about building a huge city or showing off these like thousands of pounds worth of Lego. And for a normal child, they don't have that. So they're watching it and wanting it and feeling potentially upset that they can't have it. Whereas with this, it's great. A lot of the time they say, oh, my school has that and I've never used it. And it's like, great, this is what you can build with it. Go tell your teachers, I want to build this. And it starts that whole process of wanting to learn and wanting to build and play. So
yeah, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's good, I don't know in the UK, but sometimes in many schools I know if a teacher move for the other school, the materials stay there in that school.
yes,
He lives, and sometimes it's just saved there and nobody touch it.
it's in a cupboard and I don't know what to do with it.
So it's like if you are in one of the schools learning there, just go ask to the dean or whatever, or the director, do we have Lego sets? Maybe we can build a robotic club or make a club or make a space, you know. Maybe they don't have the robotics, maybe they have only the ones for the gears, the simple gears or something. But you can do a lot of that, or just Lego. You can do a lot
of bricks and minifigures, do storytelling, do
exactly. I like you have I have it. So cool. My son love it. I have to put him organized because he do a mess, but he's very good. Actually, was a stat I was surprised that was discontinued, because you can learn not only STEAM like a storyteller, but you can learn even STEAM areas. But well, it's decision of them who have it should use it. I like, for example, the activity of the 6 bricks.
Yes, I've not experienced that myself, but I've seen people talk about 6 bricks.
We need to do it together on TikTok. I will send it one of these.
They do it now, and I was like, I don't have enough Lego.
It's the Duplo one. You can use the simple pieces. They use the Duplo because of the it's bigger, so it's easier to do. No, it's very cool. I do this. We did this with adults too. It's very cool how 6 bricks you cannot do a lot of activities. This was created by Lego Foundation. So this is very interesting. The activities you can have you with any age. This can be any age you can apply. So it's cool. It's cool how to see the things, and it's a good idea what you did your TikTok. I'm new in TikTok, so I'm trying to how that works.
2 months, I'm still getting my head around it. And it's like, how does it work? What's this filter?
Like the lives, I didn't understand. The lives, like you put it, you have a limit of time, or
No, you can do as long as you want. You need 1,000 followers before you can go live, because that basically stops everything going live as soon as they start it. So once you've got 1,000,
so I cannot
I'll post, don't worry, I'll get you up there. And once you've got 1,000, that will then allow you to then interact with people. But and then that's where you start building the following of random people that probably don't know Lego. But then that's where you can really inspire them and show them this is what Lego is nowadays. It's not just the Lego yellow castle which is
Yeah.
kind of the one that everyone knows, or minifigures. It's like, no, there's robotics, and this is what we're going to do today. And so I don't really do tutorials because not everyone that's watching has the Lego set.
Yeah.
But just to kind of show them how a gear works and how an axle might turn and that sort of stuff. So yeah, well, once you've got 1,000, we will definitely do some live workshops together because that sounds great fun.
Didn't know about that. I know, for example, Instagram can do it because once I tried to do it, but I was in the beach walking. But then I spent all my internet. I was like, oh, 3 gigas in 11 minutes. Great. No, no, do it also at home. And so I know the YouTube can do it. My idea, I did the one video with my son. Actually, I don't see him; it's just his hands about the new the motion brick motion set.
Motion Prime, yeah.
And the essential I have there. I have to open the other. He did one activity. I have to do is like editing. But my idea is like you is like simplify. Like for example, show people how gears work. You know, like in a few minutes. The interviews normally is more time because we are talking is different. But my videos, I want like few minutes if they can go at home. Oh, I see a problem. Just about this, how I fix it, or how I learned about this. They in 2 minutes or 3 minutes I can find the solution. You know, like I break, like it's like in the process of engineer. You have a problem and you break it in steps, and then you do a bit like this. I think that helps for the kids. So that's it's good to see others doing that and other ideas. So it's cool. So a question I don't think we asked it. Why Bulgaria?
So why Bulgaria? My wife is Bulgarian. Simple answer. So before we were going to go traveling last year, before the lovely pandemic flipped the world upside down, we were going to come see her family for a couple of weeks, say hello to the grandparents, hi, bye, we're off, see you later. So that's why Bulgaria. It wasn't, and also I love Quidditch from Harry Potter, and we have the best Quidditch team in the world. So that's also why Bulgaria.
Cool. That is nice. It's good to see family. Does she have a lot of family there in Bulgaria?
All her family are here in Bulgaria. So her granddad's one of 7 brothers. So there's family all in, like, cousins, aunties, uncles, people that twice removed. You don't really know how they're related, but they are. So yeah, massive family. So the family gatherings obviously didn't happen last year, but now the measures have started to ease. We just had Easter, so we got together here. And we've got a big gathering up in the mountains in a few weeks' time. So yeah, it's a very family-centered nation, Bulgaria. So everyone has their friends, but family always comes first, which is lovely to be a part of.
Nice. That is nice. Let me show you. You have this one. Is the NXT milestones for people outside there at home to see?
I experienced NXT. I started with the RXT back at Legoland, and then straight to EV3. Yes.
Yes. This the one I'm showing now is the RCX. Was the first the first one built. They have the other, but this was the
old school one. Yeah.
I still have teachers. They use this. Question sometimes you use the computer. For example, I invest and buy a MacBook Air. All these ones in the back, they're old, really old. But I buy the MacBook Air, and I cannot update to get the link. Because I will not be able to work with this or work with this. So I was like, need to invest. No, that is the sad part. Is I like using this system, but I think Windows 10 you can continue to use this. Yeah, I think.
Don't talk to me about Windows 10. It's an absolute nightmare trying to get stuff on it. It's on Windows 7 as well. Trying to get WeDo working on Windows 7 back at Legoland was a nightmare because it doesn't run on normal Bluetooth. You need like a special Bluetooth dongle with Windows 7.
Yeah, I bought ones for use in the bring it to schools. I had to walk that Bluetooth, and then I lost, and then I find it's an experiment.
Not true, because they know teachers want it and they know schools will pay for it. Yeah, the Bled 112. Still remember that was 5 years ago, and I still remember the name of the Bluetooth dongle that you needed because it drove me insane.
I just say it's the dongle Bluetooth. I don't know. But I normally say to people, I have to be the ones from Lego because only that ones will work. So, no.
And those chargers are so expensive.
Do you have you should have created a YouTube channel.
Well, I've got one, but I don't really put anything on it. It's like because I'm still getting used to videos. I'm so used to. I'm a photographer as well by trade. I've done photos in the past for Legoland, for weddings, all that sort of stuff. So for me, still images is my forte. I know how to edit them, how to take them. Videos, I have no idea. So TikTok is okay because it's just me talking at the camera with a background. YouTube is a whole other level of. I mean, I use shortcuts for my editing. Yeah, do lives on there, I guess. But yeah, I mean, yes, I need to do more on that. I've got a few things, but not enough. I'll start. You've inspired me to have a look.
No, but I did start that to be less afraid to be on camera. You know, I like to be with people, but I like to be in the camera, behind the camera. You know, because I had my first camera was a Zenith. My first camera was a Zenith when I was a kid. I always pick up tomatoes in the farm to play my camera. Yeah. So I like to be behind the camera and all the process of editing. I think is very interesting. In the front of camera took a while. And so I did start with Instagram to feel more comfortable because it's a short stuff, you know. And okay, now it's like kick the fear to do it. Let's try. It's like I'm not young anymore. It's just no, I'm young. No, but I think when you grow up, you start to realize why you were afraid of it. You know, like
what's going to happen? Nothing. Just do it.
Okay. Yeah, people don't like it. Okay, you don't like it. Well, it's you like it. Great. Thank you. So like, and I like people. I like when people say, "Oh, I don't like it because of this," or "You should improve this." I think that is a good way we learn. When other people say, "Oh, you know exist these things and you can improve this way," I love it.
I quite like being a smaller channel. Like you see these accounts with like hundreds of thousands of followers, millions, some of them, and they're constantly creating the same content because they know it works. For me, I like being a smaller channel because you get feedback from people and you can then grow and better your content. You're just still learning. It's the one thing I say at the end of every live: keep learning, keep building, keep playing. And if we stop learning, what's the point? And I don't love that. I always love, which is why I'll probably get back into YouTube, because it's something I tried, I struggled with, and I thought, nah, not for me. Podcast then came along, so like, oh, podcast is easy. You don't need to edit it that much. You just cut things and balance it. So yeah, I think now I'll get back into YouTube.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to your wife for she allowed I'm joking. You'll be here.
She's at work. She doesn't know what I'm up to, so it's fine.
Do she's have a TikTok too, or she now doing the job?
No, that's just me. I'm the one that she hates being on camera. So if you go to my YouTube, you can see my wife. We did a joint video together for the Brick Q Motion Prime, because we both work for the same company here in Bulgaria. She's my translator when we do the Lego training. So I run it in English. She then translates it, and then I speak what Bulgarian I know to teachers. But yeah, so she's my partner in crime with the training. So we did a video together for that. So no, I'm the TikToker and the Instagrammer. She's currently working part-time in my sister's shop at the moment, just to get a little bit of money and keep herself entertained. But yeah, if you're on the YouTube, there's a video of me and her doing the Brick Q video. What
is her name? If
Elena.
Elena. Like it. Well, say hello to her. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Let's in touch in TikTok. Can you say where they can find you? TikTok, Instagram. If you have a site, feel free.
Absolutely. So I've kept it nice and simple. It's at the Brick Educator on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, and my podcast is the Brick Educator, a Playful Learning Podcast, and that's on all the podcast platforms: Google, Apple, Spotify. I and then Anchor, which is where I host it.
Everyone at home, thank you, or driving a car and listening to us. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah,
Because
sorry, it's
we,
a bit of a long one, a bit waffly this
yeah, and we
episode.
laugh a lot. It's good. It's good for start the day. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Thank you very much and enjoy it. You know now how to follow Jamie and his Brick Educator at the Brick Educator. Yeah. You have very great ideas. So follow and say hello to us. And mine one is my name and Raquel Silva. Thank you so much.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.